Started with Sand expanding, building with Metaverse brand, immersed Decentraland, and TCG world expanding, creating work expanding. Each month give away 10 grand. Storm riding, storm riders and fans. Submit your started with the game jam, now you wanna go. Take care at first, but now you wanna know. Wanna work in the Metaverse, tell you where to go. Bear, make it through the sandstorm, that's a really pro. Get your target, get your assets on the market. Bully bulldoze in the bear market. That's the magic, that's the carpet. Here comes Sandstorm for the artists. Dizzy, Sandstorm, yeah. Started with Sand expanding, building with Metaverse brand, immersed Decentraland, and TCG world expanding, creating work expanding. Each month give away 10 grand. Storm riding, storm riders and fans. Submit your big old hand. Submit your bid, get your wallet lit, your artist audience and build your client list. Your target, get your assets on the market. Bully bulldoze in the bear market. That's the magic, that's the carpet. Here comes Sandstorm for the artists. Yeah. Started with Sand expanding, building with Metaverse brand, immersed Decentraland, and TCG world expanding. Land's getting scarce out there, oh yeah. Better buy land than a bear, yeah. Could be your brand / chance, get out there. Could stake on your land, your community your land while you earning. Yeah, game making 8.0 coming out real soon, we gon' learn it. Streaming videos in the Metaverse, got my wheels got the best artists in the industry working. Travel through the sandstorm, it was worth it. Your collection will be perfect with the Sandstorm Metaverse building person.
What a banger. Woo! What is
Oh man,
up,
that's a
everybody?
vibe, man. That's a vibe. That's how
Yeah,
you start a show.
Oscom, you were saying that that's the first time you've heard that?
Yeah, man, it's the first time. Never saw
How?
this.
How is this the first? Yeah, that is the awesome Sandstorm banger that Dizzy had commissioned over here. So definitely an awesome intro video. But how is everybody doing today? How are you doing, Oscom?
Oh, thank you. I'm doing great. I just revealed that I never watched the SandStorm shows. Whoops.
I was kind of thinking that in the back of my head.
Whoopsies. No, I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing very good. Excited for this judge panel today because we have two new people on with us, which is awesome. So we will go through and do some introductions, hear about some of the projects that everybody is working on. So before we do that, this is the judge panel announcements for the Decentraland Builder Contest number 7, which was Movie Marathon. So we'll be going through the 8 different submissions we had, and then just a reminder that contest 8 is currently live. That is Adrenaline Junkie, and I believe now moving forward, the competitions will get an extra 2 days of dev time. Is that correct, Oscom? Instead of ending on Fridays, we're going to be ending on Sundays now, so Monday to Sundays.
Yep, exactly. So I think you may have noticed, all of you guys, that there was a change in the contest feature. It's all automated now. So essentially, when the contest is there, you can very simply submit your entry, very simply go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. And really, that's why we could also extend the time, because before, all the manual work we had to do, we can now do just automatically on the platform. So yeah, that means a bit more time for you guys. So that's a big relief for us and a big positive for you. So yeah, awesome. And I'm very excited today about this panel. So hey guys, hey Malloy, hey Akaharis, hey Abriel, and Tankpoko, thank you very much for your time today. And let's start with the 2 new people. So Akaharis and Malloy, start off. Who are you? I want to know more.
Hey, do you want to go first, Akaharis?
Let's go, man.
Yeah, sure. What's up? I'm Horace. I've been in Decentraland for about a year now. Started out just like anyone else, I guess, just kind of figuring out what the whole metaverse is about, but then quickly got into building and designing and making wearables and things like that. Some of the bigger projects we've done over the past year is we built the Pangea build for Fashion Week in 2022. That was actually a really fun project to work on, even though we had such a short timeline to work on it. I think pretty much all the main wearable creators were part of that year. And then after that, we started getting into helping other people make wearables over the past year. So we've helped a lot of different people publish wearables, not just for Decentraland, but for other metaverses as well.
Awesome.
Over the summer, we did the summer gala. That was kind of one of our main projects we did over the summer. I think probably most people here were there, or at least somewhere at some point. Yeah, and that one was also really fun. We did that kind of just as a community project to kind of create something fun for the community to do and create a large-scale event that could be shown to different people across Web3 and help onboard more people into the space. And that one was really fun. We implemented some new coding features that hadn't been done there. And yeah.
What do you think was your best work this year?
I really liked the summer gala. That one was fun. We had a lot of different kind of moving parts there, a lot of cool new coding that hadn't been done. So people could click on each other and it would pop up a little menu of everything that they were wearing directly, and then you could click on whatever you wanted to see from their wearables, and it would link you directly to the marketplace. So you wouldn't have to ask someone what they were wearing or what the name of it was. You could kind of just look at them, click on it, and then whatever wearable you wanted to find out,
Nice. That's
you
awesome.
could be brought right to the marketplace. And
I have always wanted that
Tank Poco
functionality.
was also a big part of that, doing
I've always wanted that functionality.
Yeah,
I've
it's a
always
great
wondered why that
functionality, and we're
didn't
gonna be
that
bringing
didn't
it-
exist.
I think he's lagging a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to be bringing that to our new build as well here soon. So that'll be
Awesome.
good. I think more
We
recently we did collab with Tank. We brought the babies to the Metaverse.
Nice. Did you do those avatars? I saw some avatars there.
Yes, he did.
Let's go.
Yeah, sorry. I think it's just lagging a little bit. I think I might be talking a little bit behind here.
That's fine. You can check out your connection, and in the meantime, we can get Malloy. How's it going, man? You walked fast to come here. You were about to be late, and then we were late. How did you feel?
Oh, hey. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm currently preparing, to go see family for Christmas, so I'm having to do a lot of last minute shopping. So my apologies on almost being late. Yeah, my name is Malloy. I've been in Decentraland working in the shadows probably for the last, I think, two and a half years. I kind of jumped in more mainstream when layer 2 wearables became accessible, because layer 1s were quite, there was quite a barrier to entry there. And since then, I've slowly, I think I started off the same journey a lot of 3D artists have when they join the space. They start making wearables and stuff, and then people kind of reached out. I did a lot of work for different people who reached out into my DMs. I ended up doing a lot of work for the foundation, and then I created my own kind of. I have a company that makes games, and we launched our debut in 2021. But since joining the space and my background being a 3D artist, basically we decided to commit to creating a kind of outsourced studio within the space. And me and my business partner, whose name is Sam, we go by the name of Fika Cafe. And as we are in the metaverse, we kind of wanted to expand on, we don't just want to be an outsourced house. We are actually going to expand into, like a metaverse IP. And the idea is that Fika Cafe is a coffee shop where all of the cosmic horror lords like Cthulhu and stuff go to when they're not terrorizing humans. And that's going to be kind of our expansive IP in 2023. So yeah, pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
That's such a great idea. I'm very excited about this coffee experience. being addicted to coffee myself, I can really relate to it. No, that's great, man. And I know you've been one of the people who was vetting all the assets also on Decentraland. Maybe we could get into that later, how that process was going.
Yeah, sure. Well, a curator, being a curator.
Yeah, a curator, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we can chat about it later. But in the meantime, April, how's it going since last time?
Hi everyone, my name is Uriel and I'm one of the developers of the mini golf game Golfcraft in Decentraland. Everything has been great since the last time. We are preparing our Christmas event. We will be giving away some wearables, so we are happy with that.
Nice.
Also,
When will it be?
the 17th.
17th.
Exactly.
Nice. So for anyone who wants to get some cool Golfcraft wearables, you can go on the 17th to their Christmas event. That would be very cool.
Exactly. And we presented our last DAO date for the year, so everyone is welcome to check it out to see all our work for this last year. Yeah, to see everything we have done in this time.
Yeah. Nice. We'll have to check out the updated Golfcraft experience on will it be up on Tuesday? I know a bunch of holiday themed things are coming out, so next Tuesday I think our plan is to try to hit up as many holiday experiences as we can.
Sure, yes.
Yeah, right, that'll be awesome. So next Tuesday we will show off the new Golfcraft experience. And then Tang Poco, how have you been? It's been a while, Tang, since we had you on the stream as a judge. It's okay, Tang Poco, don't be shy. She left.
Oh.
Well, while we wait for her to hop back on, I do see we have Boobful in chat. Nice to see you. We've also got Juke, VV Cryptos, and of course Slaterade. What is up, everybody? And welcome to the judging for DCL contest number 7. We did just lose Tang Poco. Hopefully we find her soon. But
reports say her PC crashed, so.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, apparently it crashed. She'll be back just after. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, so okay, I guess Tank can wait a little bit. What is so? AKA, is it Aka Horus or AKA Horus actually? Because I have been wondering that.
Yeah, it's AKA Horus. People just call me Horus.
Okay, Horus, that works. So yeah. Horus and Malloy, this is your first time judging or being on stream, and then Abriel, I know you have been on before, but you specifically wanted to judge this one because of your background in the movie and video scene. So I guess we can start off with Malloy. As a first time judging, what did you think of the submissions and I guess from your perspective, were there certain criteria that you used to rate these submissions?
Oh gosh. Yeah, this was, first time judging. I think I found it quite a daunting process, because I know what it's like to have your work judged, and I wasn't I wasn't fully behind what I should be judging, so I kind of went with gut. I kind of went with experience, what it felt like when you saw them, and yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. It's very difficult to try and especially tell a story with such a small amount of not just tell a story, but I guess like transport someone with such a small amount of space and technical limitations. Yeah, very, very impressed with every submission. It was amazing. Awesome to see, and enjoyed the judging process as well. Very,
I,
very nicely done.
I love every time we have a new judge on, and I feel like they typically have the same reaction, which is, "Wow, this was really impressive." I didn't expect these submissions to be so good, so I think that's awesome, and I know a lot of the developers put in a lot of work on these. Horace, what did you think as a first time judging? What were your thoughts on the submissions, and were there any specific criteria that you kept in mind or used to rank people?
No, I've actually followed along with a bunch of the competitions so far. So even though this was my first one judging, I've actually kind of followed them kind of closely throughout. This one, I just went for the overall feel, where there wasn't necessarily a direct rule set of how we were supposed to judge them. I kind of went for which ones impressed me the most, or which ones stood out to me. And definitely what movie it was portraying persuaded me a little bit as well, that's for sure.
The movie bias.
Yeah, the movie bias.
They were all some pretty good movies, but the experience and transporting people into that scene, it's really interesting. The scenes, I'm actually kind of surprised that there weren't any duplicates. For some reason, I thought there would be like multiple ET submissions. I don't know why that one just popped in my mind, but Abriel, want to talk, I guess, just briefly, what is your background in relation to the movie scene? And then, what did you think about these submissions and judging this time around?
I study cinematography and worked in animation, movies, and on TV. And I really loved the works. I tried to share. I like the works that take me to that scene and was not just an exact copy of elements of a movie, but more like the overall theme or the mood. I really love that.
I'm actually, now thinking about it, I'm kind of shocked somebody didn't do Superman, because I use that as a reference so many times. I feel like that would have been a one that could really, be noticeable. That's like, oh, that's, really could transport me to that scene. But cool, and it's awesome to hear your background in cinematography. That is the word I was looking for when I was stumbling over words earlier. But Tang Poco, I see you have joined us again. Are you with us though?
I am here.
Awesome. So, Tang, I guess we'll go back a little bit. What have you been up to in Decentraland lately? And do you or Baby Dolls have anything coming up?
Well, it's been a busy few weeks since the last time I was here. A couple of things that happened. I think the last time I was here, I had the grant proposal going on, so that got passed, which was great.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was also declared the official Metaverse Fashion Week supermodel, so it's going to be awesome to be a big part of putting that show together. That's happening in March.
Yeah, what was that about? Are you now the first Metaverse supermodel? Can we officially say
Oscar,
that?
don't laugh at me. No teasing
Are you the
me.
first? Are you the first official Metaverse
Yes.
supermodel?
Yes, that's right.
That's pretty strong in your CV, I have to say.
Thank you. I mean, what I'm really excited about is that Metaverse Fashion Week this year is going to be not just in Decentraland, but also in Spatial, and also using the OVR Metaverse, which is, I believe, an augmented reality situation. So that is super cool, I think, just to be bridging metaverses and widening the audience and taking advantage of everything that technology has to offer. I love fashion. Everybody in Decentraland, I think, is into digital fashion. So that's super exciting. And then speaking of bridging metaverses, I was able to drop the baby doll avatars into Mona. They just opened up their avatar marketplace last week. And that was really exciting to be able to walk around like a baby doll in a completely different metaverse. And special thanks to Horace, who was a huge help with that. They sold out like within half an hour. So pretty cool. But, other than that, I've just been chilling.
Of course. Sounds like a chill kind of.
Other than this long
plan.
list of things that I have been doing and accomplishing, next we're gonna see you on the cover of like Vogue or something.
I was on the cover of Vogue last week. No, just kidding. Not the cover.
I was like, what? Oh my gosh.
And that's what you get when you're a Metaverse supermodel. What can you do, you know?
Oh, stop.
That's awesome. And so I know, Horace had mentioned Mona, and you mentioned Mona as well. And SandStorm operates across multiple metaverses, but Oscar, I don't think Mona is one that you guys are currently in. And I'm wondering.
This on DCL Creations. I will say
hear
one
a lot
thing.
about it.
Yeah, tell us about that, Oscar.
I will say one thing, guys. Let's put it this way: the teams of Metaverse, Spatial, and OVR are very nice teams.
Okay. Well, maybe there's a little hint, maybe some alpha there of what's to come. I haven't played around in Mona too much, but what about you guys, Malloy and Abriel? Outside of Decentraland, is there another metaverse that you typically use, or are you like solely dedicated to Decentraland?
I have been only in Decentraland lately. Before I was looking at crypto boxes. I really like it for its simplicity and easy to use. But lately I have been focused all the time in Decentraland.
I guess you guys are building out quite a large experience in Decentraland, so it makes sense for that to be your focus. Malloy, what about you? Is everything in Decentraland your focus, or is there another metaverse that you jump around to?
I'm pretty, when it comes to the metaverse windows, I like to call each platform like a window into the metaverse. But when it comes to I like my heart lies with Decentraland for like the ideology behind it. It's also where I've had the pleasure of making a lot of content for. But the artist in me really wants to dive into what I guess you'd call a AAA asset pipeline again. And Mona has PBR shaders and things like that. So I am thinking about doing an avatar for Mona. I like the idea of Decentraland opening up in multiple clients in the future. So like Unreal Engine, imagine Decentraland experiences. I think there'll be a lot of ways for developers to port the existing content over to new clients and new rendering engines.
That would be crazy, but I suppose that would cause so many problems, like just from a compatibility issue. Going from something that's like Unity based to Unreal, I can't imagine.
Well, luckily, a lot of the content is .glb based, so all of the data is compressed.
That's true.
So if you're able to kind of, I guess, find something that transforms it, does a transfer into, it will be a lot of work for developers to create the clients. But I think my heart lies with Decentraland. That's how I'd answer that. And I'm not really fishing around, but I do love the idea of making content for other platforms, other windows.
I think from a marketing and branding standpoint, moving forward into 2023, I'll be talking to clients about making sure that their strategies include more than one metaverse, not just a Decentraland activation, but Spatial or Mona or whatever metaverse works for their their plan, their strategy. Sometimes it can be difficult. Well, we all know it's difficult to onboard into Decentraland, so it might be good to have like a Spatial extension or a Mona extension as well. So I like the idea of what you're saying, being able to kind of port these existing experiences into other metaverses. But I think moving forward, we need to make experiences that have aspects that are multi-metaversal.
I think that'll come through a certain level of, I guess, standardization as places continue to develop, but then also through kind of like conversion portals. If you can take an avatar and you want to teleport, or not teleport, but if you have a Decentraland avatar and you want to voxelize it, I feel like people could come up with an algorithm that would, just take what that avatar looks like and map it to a voxel character and kind of port people in that way. I feel like things like that must already exist, right? So I think stuff like that will become more and more like people will move towards more consistent principles and code and models. And then at the same time, I think more and more third-party tools will be available for people to use for conversions.
I would like to add on to the back of that. I think sorry if I don't know if you've got like a strict time for this, but a lot of the windows in the metaverse, I believe, kind of focus on brand awareness and getting names out there to be on the forefront of a technological revolution, etc. It's all kind of like for clout, as where I think a lot of focus that I foresee, or my focus coming from game development, is what can a platform do for the players, and can it do for the users? And I think Decentraland ultimately trumps the rest at the moment, because the other ones seem to be rather passive. A lot of metaverse experiences to me are kind of like playing Myst, if you remember Myst. You walk around, you interact, but overall, a lot of it is in your imagination and the way that you connect to that environment and that piece. Whereas I think I'm very big on gaming, and I see a big future in Decentraland as the SDK increases following its ideological structure. I hope for the best. I could be, what's the word? What would you call it? All eggs in one basket, so to speak. But that's my focus is game development. So,
I totally agree with you on that point. I think I'm biased too, because I've been a gamer for a long time too. I think just for instance, a very good example is just what happened with Warcraft. Like back in the day, you had like this kind of simple idea and world where people were excited, and then from this simple idea and strategy game, it branched off in so many different ways. I mean, like MOBAs existed just from this idea, and then they expanded onto full MMORPGs, and they expanded on so many new game types that didn't exist before, just through this first kind of innovation, and then opening up creative juices. I think it's kind of the same here. If we look at gaming and metaverse, maybe like we don't foresee the different use cases in the different ways at how we can incentivize people and create new experiences that are unique for any kinds of people.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
that's very exciting.
I foresee it as kind of, I think there's going to be a lot more that people can do and focus on within the metaverse. And what I meant to say is, I guess developers or people who are building in the space will focus on whether it'll be like, boom, one, gameplay experiences, and they'll focus on that. For others, it'll be digital identity and fashion and building up brands and, kind of making it welcoming for onboarding of a lot of people. And I think that's one aspect. That's another aspect. And then another aspect will be, what I consider, I guess, like, it's not real world utility, but it's kind of like hosting meetings, having people showing off architecture, all of that kind of stuff. So I think there's multiple ways that, the metaverse becomes a catalyst. I wanted to say why my heart lies with Decentraland. Basically, I just wanted to justify why I'm all in on DCL. I love all of the metaverses.
I totally love your approach, and I think it's very true. I think the SDK is maybe the strongest tool that Decentraland has, and the biggest edge, because it's the most difficult thing to build, and definitely. I think we're not ready to see the exponential increase in value and experiences you can go through in this kind of world, just through the sheer amount of innovation that can happen. But yeah, any comments, the other people, before we jump to judging the different entries and announcing the winners? Any comments?
I always have a ton of comments, so I'm gonna hold mine back right now. It'll take another 10 minutes.
Like a Horace Sartain or Abriel?
I think
let's
I'm
go.
good right now. Yeah.
Oh, no, all three want to talk. What's happening? Okay, go ahead, Akaharis. You start.
Oh, I said it was good. I didn't really have any comments. I guess I just had one question though. I see in this video that's playing, there's a shot of Space Odyssey 2001, and that wasn't in the competition, right?
So I think I know which one you're referencing. Is it the one
It's
that
like
was with the white screen?
Yeah, it's like the white room with green accents and things like that.
Yeah, I do not recall that one. So I am not sure. I don't think it was actually.
Okay.
We'll settle this issue after the stream. Okay, any comments, Ebriel? What do you want to say on that specific topic? I know you're a big SDK guy.
About Decentraland clients, I'm excited about a proposal Esteban put in the forum about creating 3 different clients for Decentraland for different purposes. And one was, I don't know, using Unreal, for example, for maximum production quality, and other for other uses like more open source, or for teaching to create more clients to developers. I think that the possibility of creating more clients for Decentraland and the SDK is really powerful. I think Decentraland is a powerful platform.
You know, it's awesome to see what you guys are building on top of that platform as well. Just the capabilities that you guys are able to build into that own to your own scene, like your own custom builder. So I do love the functionality and what people are able to create and what you guys are doing, especially.
And by the way, I just got a quick note here because I just got some intel on why this didn't happen. I think for the white asset, we decided to showcase it because the builder took a lot of time to build it, but we didn't put it inside the voting process because they didn't fill out the form and the submission process properly. So just a quick note here, so everything is all right, actually.
Okay, awesome.
Go ahead, Tang. Do you have some comments just to close this off, and then we can go ahead and vote?
I mean, just a quick one to say I agree with Malloy that my heart's in Decentraland, that I agree with the ideology. I came here just as somebody who wanted to check it out, but fell in love with the whole credo of decentralization and what we're building here. So even though we're all stretching out into different metaverses, I believe all roads lead to Decentraland. So my eggs are happily in one basket as well.
I like that. All roads lead to Decentraland, and therefore Decentraland leads to all roads. So great starting place for anybody looking to join into the metaverse. But I think that that takes us, we're at 12:36. That will take us into our announcements, starting with number 5 for votes. And just as a reminder, this was contest number 7. You've seen the submissions playing in the background here. So it was a movie marathon and recreating your favorite scene from a movie in Decentraland, or a movie in Decentraland, a movie, and then recreating it in Decentraland. So Slaterade, if you could kick us off with number 5, please. And number 5, congratulations. This is Aeon, and I believe this is the Back to the Future scene. I've only seen Back to the Future once, which actually this made me want to watch Back to. I don't even know if I've seen all the Back to the Futures. But Abriel, let's start off with you. What did you think about this submission?
I like the movement that it has, all the VFX, and also that it doesn't show too much. It shows just the enough to understand what movie it is, but it's not just a copy of the entire environment or something like that. And I can look at it and I can hear the sound of the movie and the music of the movie. I think really well done.
So they were really able to capture that scene for you. It took you back to that moment in the movie. That's awesome. Malloy, what did you think?
This this one was up there for me. Looking at it from like a game asset, like a technical feat, I loved it. I loved all of the use of the geometry, for the visual effects, the way that they would have been textured. It tells a story. It shows the action. This one was up there for me. I absolutely loved it. I also liked the fact that I liked it that when we were checking it out in the voting entries, that from afar it just looks like a train. It looks like a train leading into like a, if you zoom out, it looks just like a train, and there's like a little spark going on, and you're like, huh. And you have to look closer, and the closer you look, the more details there are. I really enjoyed this execution of this piece. Yeah, well done, Ian. Well done. Amazing.
Agreed. Oscom, what did you think?
This was my personal favorite, so I'm very biased here. The thing that really impressed me is I'm more impressed by assets that don't have a lot of animations or no animations like this one, but you can feel what's happening, right? It's as if you would take the scene and you would take a shot just before it happened, right? And I think just being able to represent this in a still environment is so difficult, because you need to have the angles right, you need to have the impact right, you need to have the coloring right. And I think this just really knocks it out of the park here and really hits all these different elements, which I'm really impressed by. So yeah, great job. And for me, it was my personal favorite, but really great job. I really like this asset. It really has a poetic feel to it.
A poetic feel to it. That's a good compliment there. Tang Boko, what did you think?
I agree with Oscar. I was going to say exactly what he said, that it really seemed like they picked the exact right frame to recreate, where it was like a suspenseful frame. When I look at it, it takes my breath away. It's not a little bit farther would not be right, a little bit behind would not be right, but just this impact, I feel it almost viscerally. So I thought they did a great job. I like how they have kept the build very simple, and it still looks like it belongs in Decentraland. It takes a good modeler to know what to highlight and what not to highlight when they're building something. And I think it really just fits right in with the whole DCL look as well, which is pretty impressive.
Absolutely. What did you say? Viscerally? Like, I swear Tang Pogo does these meetings with like a thesaurus in front of her.
Listen, Ian, we're on fire today. I have 5 more quotes.
five more quotes. Perfect. That brings us to Horace. Horace, what did you think about this submission?
I really like this one. I think it was probably one of the more clearly modeled ones out of the competition. I think, like with what Tang said, it really fits with the aesthetic and the graphics of Decentraland almost perfectly. I think this is from Back to the Future 3, which I've never seen, so I don't have like a overt connection to it necessarily, but I really liked it. I think from like a judging standpoint, this one was a little bit lower from me, kind of in the opposite regard to what Oscom said, where just where the other ones did have some animation and movement, I kind of placed those ones a little bit above. But other than that, this one was definitely way up there for me. And of course, the DeLorean in the Metaverse is kind of a staple. If you see it around a lot, I definitely see it in a lot of different places. So I like seeing the DeLorean for sure.
Yeah, I think there's a couple DeLoreans hanging out around Decentraland somewhere. I like for me, with those textures for the fire and the impact, like if you were to take away the dust texture on the ground, the fire on the rails, and the impact, it would be a completely different scene and feel to me. So those elements right there just are what really stood out for me. But yeah, that is the 5th place winner, Aeon. Congratulations again for Back to the Future build, and really awesome work. It looks badass. So Slaterade, that will bring us over to number 4, please. Number 4 is VV Cryptos. Congratulations, VV. I think I saw you in chat there. So this is the ET scene by VV, which is, I think, probably one of the, like, in my mind, ET for some reason it's just like one of the most historical movies. I don't know why. It's just like ingrained in my brain that way. But Horace, we'll start on the bottom this time. What were your thoughts about this scene and submission? You there, Horace?
You're muted if you're talking, Horace.
Might have lost Horace.
Okay.
Tang Poco, what did you think?
I kind of don't remember ET that much. But
she's not focusing anymore. She's eating now in the show.
I'm eating a cookie. Can you pass me, please?
She's getting way too comfortable.
No, I was gonna eat my cookie. Come on, I was gonna eat my cookie while Horace was speaking.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't really remember the movie E.T. that much, but I really don't remember this scene in it. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I do remember the iconic look of the bike in front of the moon, though, which is kind of cool. And I kind of remember that speak and spell, that toy that she put inside is it inside the moon? So I think there were a lot of references to the movie, which was really cool. I've seen her animations before, and I think she does a really good job. So all in all, I really thought this was a cute scene. Done well.
Very nice. Cute scene, done well. I just googled speak and what did you call it?
I think it was called a speak and spell.
A speak and spell. Yeah, created by Texas Instruments. I might have to look into that. But Oscom, what did you think?
Oh, I really liked the asset itself. Like everybody, I think I really liked the render she made on the moon and how the little bicycle goes in front of it. I really thought this was well done. Personally, I think I just had a problem to see what scene it was in the movie. Like Tang said, I think these were mostly references, and so I couldn't like really get what she was trying to reproduce. But I think that in general, just from the modeling and from the animations and from the idea, it was great. Like that was really good.
Awesome, Malloy.
Yo, yeah, I think I got absolutely nostalgia hooked. Like as soon as I saw someone had attempted ET, which I thought this is an incredibly impressive what would you say, way to go about it. Just immediately voted. Apologies to everyone. On the basis of meritocracy, I saw it. It spoke to my childhood. I voted. Apologies. It was awesome. Great job.
Got a bias towards ET there. We'll remember for future judging panels if we bring you on again. Love it. Abriel, what about you? What were your thoughts?
I like it. I like that it's not just one scene, but it's like half of the movie, because it takes the element of the toy, that is when it is calling home, then the escape, that is when the bike is crossing the moon, and finally when the ship comes to take it home. So it's like a really complex scene with a lot of elements taking me back to the movie. So
yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it as well. I think where like the main scene would be them, taking off in that bike with ET, but then it was cool that there were other components of other scenes like in the background there. So I did really like that. Horace, I see you're unmuted now. Want to try talking and see if we can hear you?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Perfect. What were your thoughts on this scene?
I like this one. I liked the animation of it. something about it just made me chuckle the way that ET's just kind of in there in his little wrapped up blanket and his little face is poking out of it. Admittedly, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie, so like Tang, I didn't really recognize the scene exactly. I guess it's kind of more of an amalgamation of scenes and everything. And having not seen it in a long time, the one thing that I was kind of curious about is why there's a coat hanger on the record player or something like that. I don't know if that was from the movie, but that was just one thing that threw me off. But overall, I really liked this one. The animation and just the theme of it was great. I liked it.
Coat hanger, some sort of alien experimentation.
Something going on there.
Who knows? But awesome. Yeah. So congratulations again to VV Cryptos. That was our 4th place winner. And then Slaterade, that brings us to number 3. Top 3. Here we go. Kanzi. Congratulations, Kanzi. This was the... oh shoot! Hold on, I'm gonna blank. Is this out of Ready Player One? Abriel's laughing and shaking his head at me.
No, it was
Blade Runner.
Blade
God.
Runner. Yeah, it was Blade
DCL
Runner.
Curations, did you just say Ready Player One instead of Blade Runner?
I'm
my
so
God.
sorry.
Shame
I'm
on
so
you.
Sorry.
That's like
Yeah,
Metaverse
yeah,
101,
yeah.
man.
Well, I was thinking Cyberpunk, like, because I played that video game a lot, and I was thinking that at first. And you know what? Okay, I'm just terrible all around. But this was by Kanzi, so congratulations on 3rd place. I think they just popped in chat, or Geo77 just popped in chat. What's up? Good to see you. But Abriel, what did you think about this one?
I like the vibe and the mood, the cyberpunk mood, and also the reference because Blade Runner is an adaptation from the book. I don't remember the name, but the book appears in the scene, and the little shop with the about that. So I mainly like the overall mood, and that in that little space was able to pack all this information. Amazing.
So they really had all the details in there.
Yeah.
Nice. Malloy, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought this was a beautiful piece. It really sold the style, the theme, and the vibe, and I think that's kind of what I ended up coasting off my votes was more from how transported I felt. Yeah, and I really liked all of the subtle, what would you call them, the odes, and the details. Yeah, just the details, the vibe, the scene. It would be nice, I'd love to see an entire plaza kind of in the style inside in Decentraland. So amazing work, amazing.
Nice. Oscom?
Yeah, man, I think the visuals of this are impressive. I think it's a great asset. Like even people who want to implement them in whatever land they want to put later. That's how I thought also about a lot of those builds. Is like, how can you use it in Decentraland, and how can you just import them and just straight away enhance experiences or something that already exists. And I think this is a really great example just of a really beautiful building that you can put in a lot of situations, and also it's a really great reference to that specific movie. So I'm personally very impressed. I really like it. Also cool that in the presentation they put next to one another the pictures and the actual build. I really like this in terms of presentation. In this specific context, it gave even more so power to how well they were able to execute on the idea they had. So great job.
Yeah, with those pictures in the presentation, I'm now even more embarrassed that I called this the wrong name movie. But Dang Poco, what did you think?
Well, once again, I have to piggyback off of what Oscom said. It was a really impressive build. I'd love to have it on some of my land. And I'd love also to see a whole plaza of this. And yeah, I like the insertion of the frames from Blade Runner. I'm a huge Blade Runner fan, and I love all the neon and the ode to Asia. So yeah, I thought he did a really great job with it. I loved it.
2 odes. Malloy talking about the odes, Tang Poco with the odes. Love it. Horace, what did you think?
I think if we had to have voted in like first, second, third place, this one might have been my first place. I think I really like the theme of it. It's one of my favorite themes for Metaverse builds. The whole neon cyberpunk theme. Of course, Blade Runner is kind of one of my more favorite movies out of the whole list here, and I really like that. From like a technical standpoint, I think the build and the texturing and all that would have definitely taken quite a while to do all of it with the vending machines and the little details on each one. And yeah, I think the way they recreated like the billboards without directly copying the graphics, but capturing essentially the same imagery, it's all really good. And I wouldn't call them odes, I'd call them Easter eggs, I guess. But I really like the Easter eggs, the Do You Dream of Electric Sheep, and the billboards and things like that. I liked all of it. It was great.
I think my favorite part is just that billboard flipping over at the very beginning between the 2 images. I don't know why, but there's just something like so satisfying about watching that happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Congratulations again to Kanzi for the 3rd place win with your Blade Runner scene, not Ready Player One. I'll never forget this now. Slater, that will take us to number 2, please. In 2nd place, we have Rub.QBE with a Jaws scene, I believe, here, because I don't know if I've ever seen Jaws all the way through, but I could definitely tell what the scene was. And Tang, I don't think we've started off with you yet, so what were your thoughts on this scene?
This was my number 1 pick. I mean, it's so cute. That shark is so cute. And I like how, I mean, the whole thing is modeled well. Rub.QBE has been a strong contender in all of these contests. So, and I think he has a style that you really start to see if you've seen a bit of his work. So the things that I love about this, I love how when the shark tilts the boat, you can see the water sort of rising up in the back. I think that's a really subtle but nice touch. It looks exactly like the movie. The shark is super adorable. And what I really like is that it is this small, contained 2-foot pool, which sort of reminds me of that Universal Studios feeling that it was just an animatronic shark, that this whole thing, wasn't a real movie, that it was just this little ride that you could kind of go on at Universal Studios. All in all, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way, but that is kind of neat. Ozcom, what were your thoughts?
I think it was a really cool and well put together build. I think same thing here. It really encapsulates this idea of a movie scene really well. It gives context. It gives all the necessary elements. It focuses on the action, and in a really cool way. The shark movement is great. You can immediately understand what's going on, whether you watch the movie or not.
Some people are gonna die.
And I just love this. I think it's a really nice and cool scene. Just imagine partying on there. I mean, that would be cool.
That would be terrifying. Out of curiosity, do they live? Did the people in this movie survive? Does anybody die?
So, okay, look, Disney Creations, you're asking to the very wrong person, because I didn't watch a single of those 5 movies that won here.
There's 5.
So I'm really the one that doesn't know anything here. I will let
Oscom, you've never watched Blade Runner, Oscom?
No.
Oh my God.
I don't think you're allowed to work in the metaverse if you haven't watched Blade Runner.
The good thing is, if every one of you guys have the same inspirations, then maybe I can come up with some other inspirations.
Oh, that's true.
I suppose.
That's one way to look at it. But Malloy, you're up next. What did you think?
Oh, I think everyone said what I was going to say. Really nice piece. It you knew exactly what film it was immediately. It would have been nice to have had. The only thing I can think of is an oxygen tank, like in the mouth, like a wrangling with the old pressurized container. But otherwise, yeah, beautiful, very very nice. Yeah, well done.
Gabriel, what did you think?
Yeah, about the movie, I can say that it ends well, but a lot of people die in the movie.
Okay, so a lot of people do die. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
I really like it. The animation is great. The shark is really cute. I want to pet it in the head. I like the textures, and I like that I can recognize the author of the work. And I don't know what else to add to what everyone else has said, but yeah, really, really inspiring work.
I've got one comment that I'm holding on to until Horace goes. But yeah, Horace, what did you think?
Yeah, this one was really clean. I liked it overall as a build, like the model to the film, like it's really accurate, even with the yellow pontoons there on the front and floating in the water. Tang kind of stole my reference to Universal Studios and the ride, and I went on that as a kid, and it definitely wasn't as exciting as this portrays it to be, but I like it overall. It's good.
I'm gonna have to check out that Universal Studio experience, I guess. But for me, it was really the texturing. Like the texturing on this is just so clean. There's just something that's almost like vibrant about the textures. And I know that metal is notoriously hard to kind of like perfect in Decentraland. And so I think the texture really popped for me and stood out. So congratulations again to Rub.QBE for second place winner on your Jaws scene. It's really awesome. And Slaterade, that'll take us to our number one slot, right on time, behind time, but right on time. We got number one coming up. First place, Shiny DCL. Congratulations on taking down first place in the DCL Builder Contest number 7 with your, I believe this is a Diagon Alley scene, that the wand shop from Harry Potter. So Horace, we'll start with you. What did you think?
Yeah, I really like this one. All the little details of all the naming on the boxes and things like that, the papers and the lighting. But I think the thing that definitely pushed it over is the interaction that was in this one. Since there wasn't necessarily a rule set, I just allowed the things that impressed me to kind of sway my vote. And so this was definitely one of the ones where the wand interaction was something that pushed it up above in the votes for me, for sure.
I would agree with that. And even if the wand wasn't an interactable item, like if an NPC, for example, had been standing there and held the wand and it did those effects, I think it would have been equally impressive. But Tang Poco, what did you think?
I agree. It's a beautiful build, so detailed, really well done. I don't know a lot about Harry Potter, but I got the vibe.
Yes.
It's Harry Potter, right?
What? You're insane.
Don't play dumb. You know it's Harry Potter.
I'm just 100% sure it's Harry Potter, and I mean, I think I love the interactivity of the wand. I mean, for me, it was a hard choice between this one and Jaws. They did a great job, well deserved.
Nice, agreed. Ozcom.
Yeah, man. This asset is really cool. I think it's a very good, very good work on the internal side of things. You can see a lot of detail there. I especially like how the pages are put on the board. I really like the layout of the pages, and yeah, the gamified interactions as well is very cool. And as well as, I mean, just look at how this is looking in Decentraland when you're just walking around. This is impressive. I mean, the level of detail. Here, he or she was sacrificing on the outside, but the internal is looking amazing. So I think great job. That's awesome.
I like how, and the one thing that stood out is the disorganized layout of the pages. Like,
dude, I love this.
Love the way they just threw all these pages up there. But it is really cool. Not everything in the metaverse is perfect, and making things not perfect makes it seem a lot more realistic. I feel like I totally agree with that. Malloy, what did you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna make some enemies. No, I'm just gonna say that out of all of the pieces, I thought, I wanted to say Aeon's was my favorite from a technical artist standpoint. Like, straight up was my favorite artist piece, if you're just looking at the art. This piece, when I saw it, I just immediately, I fell in love. I don't even like Harry Potter, even though I'm British. I don't like Harry Potter. I ignored the interactive elements. But what really got me was that, I think, like Ozcom was saying, when you walk in, the way that they've worked the population assets, it is a bit scrappy. There are bits, all of the boxes that are stacked on top of each other are slightly askew. All of those little imperfections, they tell a story. So when you go in there, when you walk in there, it feels like an environment that has had simulation before you walked in. It looks like it's lived in. And I think, the fact that this could be deployed and people could walk in and be like, oh wow, like this is a pocket inside another universe. I knew immediately what film it was from. It felt lived in. The vibe just jumped out overwhelmingly, and I think this was my favorite piece out for all things combined, whilst ignoring a lot of other things. Yeah.
To add things very quickly to what you just said, I think the real cool thing here is just think about all the detail, and then they can just take whatever page. If you look up the page, there's so much detail just in the words. Like, you could even read a sentence in there. And I think just imagine you have this land and you create these kinds of ongoing experiences, and then just redeploy and update one page or something, and then it adds like a secret, and it goes on over a couple of months, and then every day you change one page, people need to find the change page or something. I'm just going off here, but I think like just the ideas you can get with these kinds of builds are crazy. Anyways,
I just wanted to say, it's, if you were to look at a scene, I think it was the fact that, when you walk in, like when you watch this little character in the video walk in, it is, you're walking into a room that has been used before. It's not like a sterile environment. It's not a looping kind of like clip. It kind of just feels, you feel it. And I think that's a lot of what Decentraland needs. It needs things to feel like they're lived in. That's what's, if you walk into a scene and everything is fresh and clean and shiny and glowing, it feels sterile, like you've walked into a hospital. As you kind of need more, like you need things where things have been slightly moved, and I think one of the biggest questions from environment artists' point of view is, why is that object there, and how did it come to be? If everything is in alignment, like perfectly, all of those wand boxes, if they're all perfectly aligned and they weren't off at a kilted angle, you can kind of justify when you walk in that they're all at a different angle, because whoever the shop clerk has like shuffled around trying to find the perfect wand, etc. Like, there's a story is told by the imperfections in the environment, and I think that's one of the biggest takeaways for scene builders going forward. Make scenes look lived in. But yeah, that's it.
That's an awesome, definitely an awesome takeaway, I think, for any of the builders that are on the call. The only thing I would say is, instead of walking into this shop, it would be awesome if you ran through the wall of 9 3/4 and popped into the shop or something. And that takes it another step. But Abriel, I want to close this out with your thoughts on first place.
Sure. I really like that just with the colors, you can tell what movie it is. Somehow they managed to capture the color palette with the gold, green, brown really well. So that added to the detail of the textures and the writing, the text. I think looks great, and there's a story, or you can see that it's a place where character lives, and it's not just a building, but has a story behind.
Yeah, this is this scene I think truly stood out. It'd be awesome if this is deployed in Decentraland currently, or if there's an experience like this in Decentraland. Feel free to pop into the comments and let us know. Maybe we can get some people to check it out. But congratulations again to Shiny, DCL, and to all of our winners. So again, we had 5th place was Aeon, in 4th we had VV Cryptos, 3rd Kanzi, 2nd Rub.QBE, and in 1st place Shiny DCL. So congratulations again to everybody. And we're not too over time, which we're getting better at this. Every time we're getting a little bit better. But I guess we'll just do some closing comments. So for everybody, for all the judges that are on the call, I know we talked a little bit about what you're currently doing at the beginning, but anything that you want to plug or any event that you have coming up immediately that you've got a link for you'd like to share, now is the time. So Abriel, want to kick us off?
Sure. Everyone is invited to come to Golfcraft and try it. We added a new story mode with some levels and NPC that greets you and say, help me with that. And you can complete some levels, and the NPC will give you an emote. So everyone is invited to try it.
Nice. Yeah, and we will we'll pop over to Golfcraft on Tuesday and make a little bit of an experience showing off the Golfcraft holiday experience. So that'll be awesome. And thanks again for coming on as a judge. It was awesome to have you on. Malloy, closing comments. Anything on your plate?
No, I got nothing to shill. I just want to say great work to all of the creators who participated in this competition. Yeah, amazing work, and amazing to see that creativity come through in light of one parcel technical limitations. It's great. I'm looking forward to seeing the next competition's results. I just wanted to say, if anyone has any questions about 3D art, any technical questions, please hit me up. My DM's are always open, and I will be doing a tutorial series for the Meta Academy. So that'll be coming out quite soon. So I'm all about, I'm in the mode to just share my skills at the moment. So please just hit me up if you want any technical feedback or anything. Hit me up. Big love.
Yeah, that is awesome. You heard it here first, people. Hit up Malloy if you've got some questions. He's got some cool stuff going on. Tang Poco, what about you?
Oh, you know me, I've always got something going on. So tonight we have WAGMI Wednesday at Dollhouse. It is WAGMI Pixie. So I don't know if you've seen some of the Pixie emotes that turn you really small and you fly around. That is the theme tonight. So either dress like a Pixie or emote like a Pixie and come by and dance. We've got one of the hottest DJs from Argentina playing tonight. She's a super cutie. Come by and check her out. It's going to be a great party. And then next week we haven't announced this yet. I guess this is going to be kind of my first public announcement. Baby Doll's anniversary on the 21st next week. We've been around now for about a year, so we're just going to kind of celebrate a year of partying, having fun, building community, and just hanging out in the metaverse with all you guys. Let's celebrate that 1-year anniversary next week at Dollhouse.
Nice. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
That's awesome. I think I might be coming up on my one official year, but that is awesome. I will pop by next weekend and make sure to party with you. Horace, how about you? Closing comments?
I guess to quick show, my design studio year 2000, we've partnered with Pangea DAO, Boson Protocol, and WeMeta to create a large-scale build in the middle of the fashion district, where we'll be making a high-end shopping experience that will allow for real-world and virtual shopping experience. And it'll be kind of its own shopping district fused with a miniature city is kind of the idea. And we'll be providing in-depth analytics to the whole community. It'll be open source information, so the community and the foundation will all have access to all the details and information that we'll be doing there. And yeah, if anyone's interested in being involved, feel free to hit me up anytime or reach out.
Yeah, is
And,
that currently deployed in Decentraland? Is there something
No,
currently?
this will be coming. This is something that this is probably the first time we've actually publicly announced it anywhere. So
Look at all the alpha we're getting today. Well, that is awesome. And your Twitter is Fika or the Fika Cafe?
no, mine's at aka Horace aka Horace DCL is mine.
And then,
I think Malloy's Fika.
Oh yes, sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. My bad. I was like, wait a second. I know this, but for some reason, wires in my brain aren't connecting right now. But awesome. Yeah, you'll have to keep us up to date on that. That sounds really cool. I know Bosun Protocol has done some pretty awesome stuff as well. So that's awesome that you're getting to work with such talented groups of individuals.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be cool.
Ozcom, want to close us out?
Yeah, I think very quick shout out for Mano, who wanted to shout out his Fika Cafe brand. He talked about it earlier in the stream. If you want to check it out, you can watch the YouTube video and watch back what he said about it. But yeah, else on the side of SandStorm, what can I talk about? I think so in general, if you're an artist, you can check out the contest page on the SandStorm site. That's the best way to know what's happening. Right now, it's very easy to understand. You can either click on the contest page. That's where you can see every single contest that's happening at the moment, either in Decentraland or in the sandbox. If you click on the proposal page, you will see all the different public proposals that are ongoing, which means you can see all the different job opportunities that are in SandStorm at the moment. And I believe there's currently quite a few of them that are live. So yeah, if you're a 3D modeler, if you're an artist, definitely that's the place where you want to check this out and put some bids in and maybe get hired for those. Else, I will reach out to the people of this contest and obviously to keep getting the repository going. I've been updating it a little bit over time, and I will publish a Decentraland DAO update today. So if you're interested in seeing the backstage of what's happening in the Decentraland DAO, you can check out what I will post today. And yeah, very happy all the time to make all these very cool events and have all these amazing guests here that are contributing to the ecosystem, whether it be just in Decentraland or in all the different metaverses. I think we're all in the same boat here, and it's very cool to see that so many people do great stuff. Getting back to you, DCL Creations.
Yeah, no, thanks. For me, still working on the virtual library experience. So similar to SandStorm, I'll have a grant update coming up in, I think, 7 days now. So a week from now, we'll have an update on the close out month 3. So we're halfway there. Oh, I hope this goes well. Yeah, no, that's my main focus right now. And then coming up with more SandStorm builder themes. So we'll be coming up with the next batch of those. Don't forget, 8 is currently live, and you will have till Sunday to make your submissions. And then next week we will be announcing contest number 9. So yeah, stay tuned. Congratulations again to all of the winners. Thank you, Horace, Tang, Malloy, Abriel, for being on and being amazing judges and sharing what you're working on in Decentraland. And everybody have a great rest of your day and rest of your week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Cheers. Have a good week.
Take care.
Bye.